Yo, you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. We've got a lot to cover today, including more Hasbro reveals. Hasbro says they're not done with your wallet yet. New reveals from NECA Toys for their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Universal Monsters mashup line. McFarlane Toys shows off a new Flash figure. Mattel releases images for Masters of the Universe and a whole lot more. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so welcome to a Friday edition of the TNINews video, and we do once again have a lot to cover today. I apologize, these videos are getting kind of long. There's just so much news that keeps coming out on a daily basis. So, but we'll try and get through this as fast as possible. I do have everything time marked, so you can jump to things that interest you and skip those things that don't. Also, I just wanted to, just right before I started filming this, I got a package from Walmart today. Actually, this is the third package this week I've gotten from them with Black Series figures. But of course, Walmart once again comes through, shows us how much they care about the collector, shipping this one in an envelope. And of course, I don't know how well you can see, but the packaging has gotten a little bit damaged there. I'm going to open this one anyway, so for me personally, it's not a big deal, but definitely, you know, it's kind of annoying that they do these like collector events and stuff, but then they ship these things in envelopes. So yeah, Walmart, if you really want to be collector friendly, you're going to have to pick it up a bit in the shipping department there. Okay, so now let's get into the news. So in last news video, I went over all the stuff that was revealed by Hasbro last weekend during their PulseCon event. But then Hasbro said, essentially, we're not done yet. And on Wednesday, they had a special live stream event that they had dubbed 1027, being their address is 1027, and the day was 1027. So I don't know. But during that event, they did have some new reveals, additional reveals on top of what we had seen at PulseCon. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, let's start off with some Mattel news on the Masters of the Universe front. So just today, we got some updated images for the third wave of Masterverse figures, which, as I have started to get reports of, are hitting Walmart stores here in the United States on the East Coast. I've seen reports of people finding them in Delaware as well as Pennsylvania. So usually we don't see these things first on the East Coast. And of course, the caveat there is both places have indicated that the figures had cashier lockouts on them and were not able to check out with the figures. And I don't know, you know, what the embargo date on these is supposed to be, but you know, there you go. But if you don't want to deal with Walmart, again, they are available for pre-order online at places like our sponsor Entertainment Earth, and they are the ones that provide these new updated official images for the figures, I should say. And of course, just to recap, this wave includes Stinkor. That's probably going to be the most popular figure in this wave. Fisto, which, if I recall, Mattel had said the fist is actually going to have die-cast metal on it. I believe they said that during PowerCon. And then the other two figures are going to be a regular release of Scareglow. So we got the convention exclusive one, but if you don't want to, if you got that one, you don't want to open it, or if you missed out on that one, then you can buy Scareglow from the wave. Not exactly the same. The head does glow in the dark, it appears, with this one, but not like his staff or anything like that. I think the head is the only thing that actually glows with this regular release figure. But that is part of wave 3. And then the Andrea character is the fourth figure in the wave, the fairly new character from the Revelation series. She rounds out the wave. Now, if you missed it this week, I recommend that you check out the new trailer for part 2 of the Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe Revelation animated series that is going to be debuting on the streaming service next month, specifically on November 23rd. And I was really impressed with the trailer. I mean, I liked the first part, so I'm not one of these people that was hating on the first part, but part 2 is looking like it's going to be even better. So even if you didn't like part 1, you probably, I would recommend you check out this trailer. It looks like things that people hated in part 1 will be fixed or corrected or addressed, whatever you want to say. I mean, this was done out well before people started complaining, but things like, you know, He-Man not being in the forefront and stuff, I think will not be the case with part 2. So again, if you haven't seen the trailer, which debuted this week, I do recommend that you check that out. Now, besides Masterverse stuff, we also got some new images for the Origins Deluxe figures of He-Man and Skeletor, specifically the Flying Fist He-Man and the Terraclaw Skeletor. And you can see these figures are incorporating die-cast metal, which is nice and shiny. You get multiple heads and everything. We had seen these two figures originally at PowerCon, but now we've got the full, you know, official image gallery and everything with these. And these are also available for pre-order at places like our sponsor, Entertainment Earth. Finally, for Masters of the Universe, we have some product for the second Netflix animated series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And with these new product images, we got a new look at the Sorceress figure, and then also our very first look at Battle Cat. So these will be available pretty much everywhere, and definitely I feel like this is a pretty cool looking Battle Cat. I as I've said before, I actually like this series. I'm not a huge fan. I have not been sold on these designs of the characters per se. But definitely I like the overall series itself, and looking forward to a second season. Sticking with Mattel, we also this week got official images for their second wave of WWE Superstars. So this is essentially the line of figures that will be taking over at Walmart stores. These are Walmart exclusives. And they're taking over essentially the Masters of the Universe WWE mashup line. They use the same type of body. They're made to look like the old retro figures. And with this wave, we are seeing NWO Kevin Nash, NWO Scott Hall, and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. So again, done in that retro style with those Masters of the Universe Origins type bodies, so you can, you know, take them apart and mix and match parts if you want. And again, this second wave will be exclusively released here in the United States at Walmart stores. Now, the only thing I have for you guys today on the McFarlane Toys front is just this morning, a new DC Multiverse figure, a Target exclusive, went up for pre-order on the Target website. It is another figure for the Snyder Cut Justice League movie line, and this one is a variant of the Flash figure. This is dubbed as Speed Force Flash, and you get some translucent plastic that is put on the back of the figure, as well as some lightning effect pieces that you can attach to the arms and legs, so you can make it look like he is running through the Speed Force. So as I said, this is a Target store exclusive, and it is available on the Target store website for pre-order now. For you NECA toy fans, they continue to churn out reveals every day this month for their Monster Madness event. So we only have a few days left, but this week they've churned out some first reveals for a couple of cool things. So first of all, we have the reveal of the second figure in that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters line. The first one was Raphael as Frankenstein's monster, which actually went up for pre-order. This one has not yet gone up for pre-order and probably won't until next month. But it is Leonardo as the Hunchback. So I told you this was going to be one of the figures coming. We had seen listings for the Raphael and this one in Target system. And then we had also seen one for Michelangelo as the Mummy. Now that one is yet to be revealed. And I'm guessing there is going to be a fourth figure, at least, of Donatello as something. I have no idea what he will be, but, you know, I can't imagine they're not going to do Donatello for this line. Maybe even other characters as well, but at least Donatello. But we know at least three figures. This one, the Raphael's Frankenstein, and then also, again, the Mummy, Michelangelo as the Mummy, which I don't know if we'll see that one this week. You know, they might finish him out as one of the last reveals, or they might just wait until, you know, later in the year to show him off. These are getting staggered releases. It's not like they're offering them all at the same time. Again, the Raphael is available for pre-order everywhere, including sponsors like Big Bad Toy Store. Speaking of Universal Monsters, we also got a look at their Mummy figure for their regular Universal 7-inch scale line. This is a black and white version, So with these, they've been doing colored version and black and white versions. We've seen the colored version of the Mummy figure before, but just last night they showed us our first look at the black and white version. No idea when this one will be available for purchase, but again, they are going to be doing a black and white version of the Mummy figure. And for you Thing fans, it looks like the creature, the Thing creature, I don't know if he has any other name than Thing or what, but the creature from that movie, the John Carpenter movie, looks like is in the works from NECA, and we got this teaser this week, basically indicating that again, some version of that creature is going to be coming in action figure form. Up until this point, we've basically just gotten the Kurt Russell character, a couple of versions of the Kurt Russell character. But I think we all knew that NECA was going to give us some version of the monster as well. For you fans of the Loyal Subjects BST-AXN line, I'm pretty sure last news video I told you how they were going to be doing new turtle figures with Shredder, the Foot Soldier, Bebop, and Casey Jones. Well, there's also going to be a Walmart exclusive box set release featuring 4 different Foot Soldier figures based on the video game. In different colors. It's the same as the regular Foot Soldier, but these are multicolored like appeared in the video game. This is a Walmart exclusive. It is available for pre-order now. It's going to cost you in the neighborhood, I think it's like $74 on Walmart's website. And like I said, it is available for pre-order now, and it comes in pretty cool packaging, reminiscent of the old NES Nintendo games. Which, one of which was that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. So very much a retro aspect to it. And then if you just like 5-inch figures, Foot Soldiers, again, you want to check it out, though it is definitely a little bit on the pricey side at about $75. Now getting into Super 7 stuff. So last news video, I told you how they had been hinting that the second wave of their Ultimate SilverHawks figures was going to be going up for pre-order soon. That has since happened. They are available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. And of course, with that, we got full images of the figures in the wave. So the first character that's going to be in this wave is the character Steel Will. And then also joining him is going to be the character Bluegrass with his cowboy hat. Followed by him is going to be the character Windhammer. And then finally, Monstar before he transforms into the big guy that we got in the first wave. And then on top of that, they are also making available his transformation chamber throne. So that is a separate purchase from the figures. All of these, again, are available for pre-order from our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. And if you're into SilverHawks, you'll probably want to check those out. Now, besides SilverHawks, Super 7 also announced that next week we are going to be getting up for pre-order the second wave of GIJoe Ultimates. So these are the 7-inch scale GIJoe figures that are primarily based on the animated series from the 80s. So with the tease that they put out today, it looks like Flint is going to be in the second wave. And then I believe Scarlet and Baroness will also be part of this wave. That's based on, Brian Flynn has done some recent interviews, and he let it slip in those that we should be seeing Scarlet and Baroness as well. Now there's going to be a 4th figure in the wave, which I don't have any idea which one that will be. We'll have to find out next week. I don't know exactly when these are going to be going up for pre-order and when they're going to be fully revealed. I'm guessing maybe that Wednesday time frame, but I don't know that for sure. All they said was next week. So when that information becomes available, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Now, as far as Wave 1 goes, I have been doing a little checking on that. And as I understand it, right now, those figures are still to be leaving the factory in March of next year. So hopefully by that point, the shipping delays will have been mostly straightened out, and it won't take too long for them to arrive here in the United States. But we could be seeing those figures in hand maybe as soon as April of next year. So, maybe, if all goes well, I was thinking, it would take longer, but if all goes well, hopefully, we'll have those figures in hand by, early to mid 2022. Now, while we're on the subject of GIJoe, let's go on and segue into the Hasbro reveals for this week after PulseCon. So as I mentioned before, they had an event this past Wednesday, And as you recall in my last news video, or if you go to the websites, you know that we are getting awesome looking versions of Storm Shadow with his classic look, Spirit, and then a Cobra Bat. Well, on Wednesday, they went on and showed off the third figure that will be shipping with the Spirit, in the wave with Spirit and Storm Shadow, which is the Cobra Officer. I told you that was likely it. That comes from the list that was put out by What's on Joe's Mind, another name on that list that checked out. So the Cobra Officer is in fact coming. It is part of that wave, is available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. I think looks really good. Has the helmet with the markings on it that kind of differentiates him from the regular Cobra soldier. Also has the AK-47, which is one of my favorite Cobra weapons. The AK-47 has removable magazines, has the correct web gear and everything. So I definitely am liking that figure. So I've already pre-ordered all three of those figures, of course, from Big Bad Toy Store. They're available everywhere. They're not store exclusive, so they shouldn't be very difficult for you to get. Who knows how many will show up at actual physical stores, but I hear so many people complaining about how hard the figures are to get, and yes, that was true somewhat with the Target exclusives, even though that on that front things have improved drastically in recent months. But the regular release figures are not in fact hard to get. You may have to buy them online, but they are definitely not hard to get. And with the Cobra Officer, you can buy as many as you want, so if you want to army build them, that really shouldn't be a problem. Now, the second figure they showed off on Wednesday was the Cobra Alley Viper, another one that I had told you that I was expecting to be revealed pretty soon. So that figure is now confirmed as well. Now, that one and the Bat were not on the list on What's on Joe's Mind, but it looks like those two figures are going to be released in July-August timeframe. I've seen a couple different, either July or August. I know Big Bad Toy Store has the Spirit Snake Eyes, the Spirit Storm Shadow and Cobra Officer figures listed with a July release. So I'm thinking probably more likely if those dates hold. I don't put a lot of stock in any release dates right now because with everything going on with the shipping and stuff, it's just, even under best conditions, release dates can often change, very easily, but especially now. But right now, Big Bad Toy Store has those first figures being released in July. So I would guess if that holds, we'll probably see the Alley Viper and the Bat released in that August timeframe. And sometimes they show up much sooner overseas than they do here. So we might start seeing in-hand images of them sooner than that. I don't know, but I do expect. So the weird thing is, so the first figure we should see in 2022 is that deluxe Killer Croc figure with the alligator. That's the first one that we should see release in 2022, at least regular releases. Again, available for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store. That is figure number 38. Figure number 32 is actually the barbecue figure, the Target exclusive barbecue figure, which has started to ship to people. Mine should be here by Sunday, the one I pre-ordered from Target. So that figure, unlike the Breaker and Ram Bike, which has been delayed for a lot of people, even though it's been hitting physical stores, people who pre-ordered it had their pre-orders, a lot of them have had their pre-orders delayed. But the barbecue seems to be shipping to everybody. I haven't seen anybody get a delay notice on that one, and including myself, which again, mine should be here on Sunday. That's figure number 32. Figure number 33 is the Bat. So this morning we got this image that leaked out online. It wasn't officially released by Hasbro. I'm not sure where it originated from, but it is a package image of the Bat, and you can see on the box that one's number 33. I'm guessing the Alley Viper is number 34, and then Storm Shadow is number 35, Spirit is 36, and the Cobra Officer is 37. But they're not shipping in that order. Again, the first one should be the Killer Croc, and then likely we're going to see Storm Shadow, Spirit, and the Cobra Officer. And then maybe right after that, we'll see the Bat and the Alley Viper. And like I said, right now, Big Bad has the Killer Croc, has the Croc Master listed with an April release. And then again, the other three, Storm Shadow, Spirit, and Cobra Officer with a July release. And then right now I'm thinking August for for the Bat and the Cobra Alley Viper. And I would expect those two figures to officially go up for pre-order sometime next month. You know, we're only a few days away from November, and I would expect those two figures to go up for pre-order, and we get the official images and everything sometime next month. Now, while we're talking G.I. Joe, I also just want to give you guys a quick update on that Haslab project for the Sky Striker for their 3 3/4 inch line. I talked about that in the last news video, so I'm not going to go into huge details, but I just wanted to update you guys that as I'm filming this today, that project is currently up to 4,565 backers, so it's almost halfway there with over 39 days to go. One other quick thing I just wanted to note here, something I noticed in the images for the Sky Striker, you know, a lot of the add-ons like the support crew and some of the little support crew vehicles and stuff, to me are things that would work great on something like a USS Flag. I think I mentioned that before. But looking closer at the Sky Striker itself, I noticed on the bottom there is a hook piece, which is something you would see on jets. They use that to hook onto lines when they're landing onto aircraft carriers. You know, the runway on an aircraft carrier is not as long as a regular runway, so they actually need to hook onto a line to keep them from going over when, you know, when they're coming down. So that was not something, that little hook was not something that was featured on the original toy. And no, I don't think it's, I definitely feel like that is, I don't know if that has an official name, but you know, that, I think that is definitely a hook, that you would use, you know, that a jet like that would use when landing on an aircraft carrier. The base itself, I think is going to hook in, you know, there's a display base, and I think that's going to hook in where you see that big bomb in the middle. I think you take that big bomb off, and I think there's a place where you can basically hook the stand in. But I found it kind of curious that they had added a piece for an aircraft carrier landing on the Sky Striker, being that was not part of the original toy. But, you know, if everything went great and they got the green light to do a Haslab Sky Striker, I think they're kind of putting things in place with this, or I should say a flag, if they get the green light to do a flag. I think they're putting some things in place with like the Sky Striker, and we might see other items that are done where we see something similar that would be stuff that you could then use on the flag if they ever actually get around to doing that. So like I said, I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but I think they're at least planning for the possibility that they might be able to do a Haslab USS Flag at some point. So we'll have to wait and see. I dread what the price would be. I have no idea where I would put one if they did one, but I think I would probably find a way to be able to add one to the collection, being I never had an original one. Now, while we're on the subject of Haslabs, just to update you on the Star Wars Black Series one for the Rancor creature. That one is currently up to 3,896. So that one has over 38 days to go. Now that one only needs 9,000 backers. It doesn't need quite as many as the Sky Striker. Of course, it does cost a little bit more at $350. The Sky Striker is only $230, but the Sky Striker is still leading the Rancor as I'm filming this. Now, since I last talked to you, Hasbro has announced and launched their third Haslab campaign. So they actually have 3 Haslab campaigns going on right now. They've already done 2 this year, and now they've got 3 going. So it's definitely, if you collect multiple brands, it's definitely been probably an expensive year for you. But the third one is Ghostbuster related. We knew it was coming because they teased it during PulseCon. It is of a replica proton pack. That one is actually the best performing Haslab out of the 3 to date. That one, you know, went up this past Wednesday evening, and is already at 5,137 backers. And that one only needs 7,000 backers to be fully funded. There are stretch goals. It is going to cost you $400. It is based on Spengler's proton pack, and there are options where you can make it look like the original one, or you can make it look how it does in the upcoming Afterlife movie. So if you're into that, if you want to spend $400 for a realistic looking Ghostbusters proton pack, I will put a link to that project down in the video description. I'll put a link to all of them, so you can check all 3 of the projects going. But I would expect that Ghostbuster Proton Pack will be the first one out of the 3 funded. I think all 3 will be fully funded, but the Ghostbuster one looks like is on track to be the first. Okay, now let's get into Star Wars since we talked about the Rancor. There were some new reveals on the Black Series front this Wednesday. They showed off a new Stormtrooper figure. This one specifically based on Jedha from Rogue One, Jedha Patrol Stormtrooper. So it is on the new Stormtrooper body that they've started to use. And then the other 2 reveals were Bad Batch related based on the Disney Plus animated series, where you're getting Omega, the young girl that is one of the main characters in the new series, as well as Bad Batch Echo. So Echo is definitely pretty cool looking. These have not yet gone up for pre-order. I don't know when they will be going up for pre-order, probably maybe sometime next month, but Hasbro did not make that information available. But again, these are 3 additional Black Series figures that will be released sometime in 2022. And as far as I know of, I am pretty sure all 3 of these figures are regular releases. Oh, and one other quick bit of Black Series news. This comes via Yakface, who has been doing some research on that Walgreens exclusive 212th Clone Trooper figure that was announced a couple months ago, I think, by Hasbro. Again, this is supposed to be a Walgreens exclusive, but based on the information that the folks at Yakface found in the Walgreens system, that figure has been discontinued. So it just showed up in their system, I guess, here recently, but unfortunately there's no indication that any are coming to stores, and it is reading as discontinued. So I don't know what that actually means for the figure itself, if it's been canceled altogether, if it'll end up being released someplace else, if the Walgreens system is just showing inaccurate information. Again, I don't know. Walgreens has been really iffy on their exclusives in recent months, not just with Star Wars, but Marvel as well. So the Marvel ones at least have been showing up in physical stores, even though they had quit making them available online. But with this particular Star Wars one, it's not even clear if it's going to show up there at all. If it doesn't show up at Walgreens, if it really has been canceled, then my guess is it will be offered somewhere else, maybe on Hasbro Pulse, maybe as a fan channel exclusive at online retailers. I don't know. But being that Hasbro's obviously already made the figure, I can't believe they're not going to find a way to release it if Walgreens ended up canceling it for whatever reason. Now, for Power Rangers, they didn't actually have any new reveals during their event on Wednesday, but right after they put up for pre-order a limited number of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection In Space Silver Ranger figure. Now, I don't think they ever actually officially announced this figure, and they just kind of snuck it up on their website on Wednesday. But we had seen some people find this figure overseas, so we did know it was coming. But based on the description on the Pulse website, the figure is listed as a Walgreens exclusive. Now, the figure, the ones that were on Pulse have since sold out. So if you want to get your hands on this figure, Walgreens, I guess, will have to be the place to find it. I don't think it started hitting shelves now, we'll have to wait and see if it actually does. Again, Walgreens has been having some issues with their exclusives recently, so I doubt it'll be made available on the Walgreens website. And again, I have no idea when it'll actually start to hit Walgreens stores. I don't know if they'll put any more up on the Pulse website at some point. It's possible. They don't usually sell like the Walgreens Star Wars or Marvel exclusives there, but they usually do put up the Power Rangers ones. I don't know why they don't put the Marvel and the Star Wars ones, especially since they've become so hard to get, but they usually don't. But again, for the Power Rangers, this particular figure, it will be technically deemed a Walgreens exclusive. Now for Transformers, so on Wednesday we got one new reveal on that front. They revealed the Transformers Generation Legacy lift ticket. I actually didn't know there was a Transformer named Lift Ticket. When I think of Lift Ticket, I think of the pilot for the Tomahawk on GIJoe, but I guess they gave the name to a Transformer as well. Now this is a hoist repaint. I believe this original version is based on a Diaclone figure that was never released here in the United States. But this is an online exclusive, so you can get it at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Hasbro had it up on their Pulse website as well. It went up for pre-order on Wednesday. I know it's still available at Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know about Pulse. It is going to come in new packaging. This is the new select type packaging that they're going to be offering with like the black and gold box. The actual first figure, which will feature this type of packaging, will be the select Transformers black and gold Zurak figure, which was a repaint of the Scorponok. That one went up for pre-order several months ago. Again, that one is available at places like Big Bad Toy Store. But that is actually the first figure next year that will be released that'll feature this new packaging. But this is the look of the packaging for that line of select figures that Hasbro's been doing. Now, on top of that, just today, Hasbro released images giving us our first look at the Blaster figure, the new Blaster figure. So Hasbro actually held a Q&A with certain websites and influencers. T-Formers, our sister site, T-Formers, was part of that as well. And during that, they showed off their Blaster figure. Now, this is actually going to be released in the Kingdom line. We'd seen some listings for a Blaster in the Legacy line, so I don't know if they're going to reoffer this figure down the road in the Legacy line. We've seen them do that before, so I think that's probably a good bet. But we will get our first crack at this new Blaster figure in the Kingdom line. It'll be part of the final wave. It's going to be released next year, early next year. The figure has not gone up for pre-order and won't be going up for pre-order today. Once again, Hasbro's not given us any info on when it will be going up for pre-order, but I'm thinking probably next month sometime. So Blaster is definitely looking pretty good here. And he is also going to include his cassette eject. And a Blaster here is a Voyager class Transformer. You can see we got the official images for the packaging, and then during the live stream, the Q&A roundtable that they did via Skype, you can see they had some the figure out of the package and everything. So not the greatest quality of images for the out of the box images, but there you go, that in this age of Zoom. So like I said, this version of Blaster is going to be part of the Kingdom line, one of the in the final wave of the Kingdom line, and then I really wouldn't be surprised if we see him again offered in the Legacy line as well. Okay, and then finally for Marvel Legends, yes, we had some new Marvel Legend reveals this week as well after PulseCon. But before we get into that, I just wanted to let you guys know that Hasbro's been doing their rounds of interviews with YouTubers and such. And one of the interviews they did was with the YouTuber Toying Around. And in that interview, they talked about how they had been able, recently Disney had changed the release dates for their movies next year, starting with Doctor Strange. So delaying them a bit. Basically, the Doctor Strange movie was originally going to be released in March of 2022 and is now slated for May 6th. So, we saw last year, or I guess this year, we're still in 2021. Earlier this year, we saw how like the Shang-Chi figures had released much sooner than the movie itself. Same thing with Black Widow. They were able to catch the Eternals figures, even though obviously we had started to see stuff leak out much sooner than their actual release. But they were actually able to hold those, so they didn't release so much further from the movie. They're just now starting to hit shelves. The movie's going to be out in a couple weeks. So in that interview, they were able to confirm that they were able to catch. There was enough time where they were able to catch next year's round of movie figures, and there basically will be a wave of figures for every movie released next year. Thor, Black Panther 2, things like that. So you can expect a lot of MCU waves to go along with those movies. But they were able to catch those figures. So we never had. I mean, they haven't even officially announced the Doctor Strange wave yet, but that's where that Despair figure should appear. It's one of the comic book based figures in that wave. So, being the movie was originally going to be released in March, we probably would have seen that wave start to hit shelves in February. Well, now that the movie's been pushed to May, we probably won't see the figures start hitting shelves until April timeframe. Usually they start hitting, maybe a month in that about month timeframe from when the movie's going to be released. So I don't know when we'll get the official reveals for those. I mean, we'll have to get the trailer first before they show off any movie figures from that wave. There's a couple comic book figures. I know of one other comic book figure in that wave, which I'm really excited for. I can't wait to see it. But like I said, do expect some delay with the movie figures next year to go along with the movies. Okay, and now for the reveals that they made during Wednesday's event. So we got 2 Marvel Legend reveals on Wednesday. So first of all, they revealed a 3rd figure in that X-Men animated series anniversary line. We had seen the first 2 figures with Wolverine and Jubilee. In the text description for those figures, we also saw that looked like they're going to be doing Storm and Jean Grey for this line. And then Wednesday, they revealed the first villain, which is Mr. Sinister. So Mr. Sinister is available for pre-order. These figures are sold as Pulse exclusives. Shop Disney should also be getting them, though they've yet to put them up for pre-order on their website. Right now, Pulse is the only place you can get them. They come in that VCR, VHS tape type packaging. They do have some cell shading on them. But if you missed out on the regular comic book version of Mr. Sinister, this might be one that you want to check out. Now, I strongly suspect they will end up doing Morph in this line, as well as probably most of the other core characters. I definitely could see them re-releasing like Nightcrawler in this line, which I know is one that many people missed out on the first time. Maybe Beast, that's another one I often see requested as getting a re-release. So we'll have to see if they make the line. But I really do, even though Hasbro's not actually said yet, I would be very, very surprised if we don't end up seeing a Morph figure in this line at some point. And these figures, they're staggered releases, and we should see them released throughout 2022. The other figure, in my opinion, was probably the coolest of the 2, and it is a new Spider-Man figure. It specifically is based on the comic book version of the Iron Spider. So, Hasbro did a version sometime back, but this one looks a lot better. It's on a new body with pinless technology. The metallic paint, at least in these images, looks really, really good. Hopefully the final version will look that good as well. Now, while they did not say on Wednesday how this figure was going to be released, I can tell you based on information that I have seen, this should be part of that special 60th anniversary for Spider-Man assortment that they're going to be doing throughout the year. A lot of anniversaries in 2022. And Spider-Man is definitely one that they are planning on celebrating in the Marvel Legends line. So they have not officially announced that, but again, I'm bringing that information to you now, and this is one of those figures. There's quite a few figures that are going to be coming Spider-Man based in 2022. This one being one of them. And again, this should be in that special 60th anniversary Spider-Man assortment that they'll be doing. So if you're a fan of Iron Spider, this is one that you want to check out. It is not available for pre-order. I don't know when it will go up for pre-order. Sometime, either late this year or early next year, I'm guessing. But, like I said, I've said this before in videos and on the websites and stuff. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, 2022 is definitely going to be a good year for you. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about down in the comments section below. Like the video if you're so inclined, and if you haven't already, please think about subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. You should also hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.